Hey guys, okay, so I had a very, very good conversation today, and I spoke with a driver who was my Lyft driver, and we had a conversation about Jesus Christ and who he is and where he's gonna be, and also about heaven and hell, where do you go in the afterlife? And I have to just be honest, I didn't know that I was Jesus. Had no idea. Um, I just didn't know. I didn't know. Um, but I knew there was something very different about me, and I was wondering why was I not getting the same God-like divine treatment as I would give someone else? Because anyone who loved something divine or a person who demonstrated that, anyone who loved that would treat that person like gold and want to give that person something, want to help that person immediately. And I was not into um, the Book of Emerald tablets or um, any of the astrology has something to do with it, but I wasn't into the detailed information about the return of Jesus Christ. I was, but I had no idea that that was going to be now. I had no idea. I thought that that was going to be maybe when we weren't living, or it was going to be like sometime, I guess, maybe at the end, when of us leaving Earth. Because honestly, how I should have known that I was Jesus, where people would just say God, because I consider God to be a spirit, and I consider Jesus to be the only one in human form. Since Mary had a baby without anybody, then who could that person be? You know, so in back then in Egypt, they had a lot of magic, and I could see that since their technology was more advanced than us than what we have today, I can see that a baby being born and conceived out the middle of nowhere, because they don't even have where Mary had intercourse with anybody. So I can see that the magic back then, being as powerful as it was for a baby to form inside of a woman's stomach. That was my reason. And also, I've never, when people would say something about the end of the world, or when we die or something like that, I've visualized the end of the world, but I never seen me like, I never imagined that I would be here for Revelations, and I never imagined myself not living. I always imagined myself still living. So when people will say, how are you going to prepare your burial, or how are you going to prepare your, um, you need insurance for, when you die, blah blah blah, and you need to go get a gravestone, and you need to know which cemetery you're going to go to, and you need to go get some insurance for this. And I'm like, you're paying that every single month. I don't want to. I don't even pay. And even though I got some invites in the mail or before, not really though. I didn't really get them in the mail. I would see them or like on the commercials and things like that, but I never prepared for a funeral or life insurance and things like that, because I just never visualized myself dying or leaving Earth. Like, I've never in my life visualized myself leaving Earth. Something white right here. Okay, it's gone. So that was really, really weird. Like, I never visualized myself leaving Earth, and for people to say, well, you need to man up or grow up, or you need to go out there and get a job and blah 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 blah, and I'm like, I do. I work. I'm a hard worker. I go out there and work, and because it's a pandemic, I have decided to find other ways to make a living because I am a hard, decent worker and I provide a lot of my energy out for the people at work, well, in the past. And, um, I know they say that, well, you have to expect not to, be treated like you want to be treated when you're at work because that's just normal. People go through that every single day. But I've always told myself, but there is work out there that people do get treated like the way that they want to get treated every single day. And I want that type of job because I perform and give that type of characteristics every single day for myself, for other people. It's just a healthy environment. You're a good worker and you're respectful, and you don't do that just for yourself. You do that because it's other people around you, and so that's why I decided to work for myself and provide for myself and get out of the normal 9 to 5 jobs because it was basically giving all your energy and time out and not getting any sunlight, and our body needs the sunlight. And lately I've been seeing more clouds than usual, and I'm like, why aren't we getting, why isn't the sun being exposed? And people say, well, there are such things as spray clouds and the fake clouds, and I say, why? And then they say, well, it's fake clouds because the sun bothers certain people, and they need the clouds to be covering that sun up. But yeah, but what about the health of a person? Well, they want you to drink orange juice and get vitamin D or eat certain foods, and that's okay. The foods are really good, but nothing compares to the medicine from the sun because that is also medicine. Now, people who are bothered by the sun, I can see them staying at work for hours and hours and hours every single day. But let's just be honest. Um, those are only for a certain amount of people who have problems with the sun. And unfortunately, and those are Caucasian people, but unfortunately, some Caucasian people don't mind being out there in the sun all day, and that's because of their bloodline. They have other streams of blood in their DNA that is tied to someone who is melanated. And as we all know, African Americans are melanated, and there's some melanated people who are half black and half white, or multiracial. So I just didn't know that I was Jesus, but I should have known, because some people were already scientists and already studying. It seems weird and it seems crazy to realize, but that's just the honest truth. I had no idea. I knew that there was something very special about me, and other people would tell me, and I also didn't know why I was being overlooked. And sometimes I felt like people just felt like they were babysitting a person who sounded like a small person, like a boy or a child, but people knew that I was mature and very adult like. So it was almost like, well, why doesn't this person take me serious? I said, oh, okay, I know why, because of how I sound. And certain I guess I could say flamboyant ways, but I don't consider myself having, a flamboyant ways to the point to where it's it'll draw somebody away from me. Some people feel intimidated by certain things, and even I was feeling intimidated by certain flamboyantness. But I never picked on anybody, anything like that. So that's the thing. But yeah, I just never really felt the need to um, continue to doubt that I wouldn't make it somewhere or I wouldn't go somewhere that my heart truly desired, no matter if there was a situation around me and certain things were pretty much like blocking me or trying to block me from moving forward. I knew there was something wrong with another person and not me, but I scared myself, and well, I worried myself because I said, wow, if I'm going to feel like this and try to make it in this world, I had to keep on doing it and leaving my feelings behind one by one, leave my feelings behind and keep on doing it. Then it got to the point to where I said, this is ridiculous. There's no way I can continue to go to work or be around people. There's no way, be around people that are good, but it's no way I can be around just anybody. And when you go to when you go to work, working a 9 to 5 job, you're placing yourself around just around anybody, who may not be spiritually saved, so they may not know how to treat you the right way. And so that was my whole reason why. So yeah, that's my message for today. See you guys.